This programme now understands that after we interviewed Ms Sadiq on Saturday, asking why she would not help the family of Ahmed bin Qasim, who has been detained in Bangladesh and not heard from, police have turned up at his family home in the capital, Dhaka. There's no suggestion that this has anything to do with Ms Sadiq, but Channel 4 News understands the family has apparently been asked to behave themselves, and this is the first such visit for some time. This as Tulip Sadiq apologised today for what she said was an ill-judged remark to a member of our team. Well, our chief correspondent, Alex Thompson, has the latest. What can you tell us, Alex?
Well, yes, well, it all rolled into Prime Minister's questions, amongst other things today. And as you mentioned, that fulsome apology, so far as her own personal conduct is concerned. Her political, wider conduct is a matter of some growing concern. And there are a number of other cases, including one of the disappeared, as they call them in Bangladesh, who is British. The real immediate concern and the focus of this isn't Channel 4 News, nor should it be, nor indeed Tulip Sadiq. It is, of course, the man concerned, Ahmed bin Qasim. His family, defenceless family, now find themselves being visited by armed men in force. They're extremely worried that they should become disappeared as well. Now, here's the thing. Sometime between Channel 4 News having that meeting with Tulip Sadiq on Saturday lunchtime in London and putting out our piece last night, somehow the Bangladeshis got some wind of it, it appears. It could be coincidence, but somehow they've got informed and they have stepped up the pressure on this family. And that's exceedingly worrying, because there are hundreds of people in the opposition in Bangladesh who've been disappeared by what is, by all accounts, globally recognised as an extremely brutal regime. And Tulip Sadiq, as we'll see tonight, is uniquely concerned with that. So let's start off, I think, first of all, looking at the person who's become the real focus, and rightly so, at the centre of this, the man concerned who's been disappeared and his family.
Ominous developments tonight concerning the family of the person at the centre of this story, the British-trained barrister Ahmed bin Qasim, kidnapped by government agents in Bangladesh. We met Tulip Sadiq around midday on Saturday. From then on, Mr. Qasim's family in Bangladesh say they've been harassed by government forces. That is, before last night's report was broadcast.
Uniformed police officers attending the property happened before the Channel 4 show with Tulip Sadiq aired last night. So there was already some intimidation. But what happened today, after the show was aired last night here, is a large number of armed police officers came onto the property. Fully armoured and armed police officers came onto the property, and that was a very intimidating thing to happen. And the family were worried that they were going to be disappeared by the security forces.
Coincidence possibly, but since last night's report, the harassment in Bangladesh has reportedly increased.
What's happened here, it seems, is they found out about the programme in some way before it's been aired, and they're seeking to intimidate the family there. And that's what's happened yesterday and again today. And what I hope is those with the power in this country, and they know who they are, make it quite clear to the Bangladeshi authorities that harassment and intimidation of the family will not be tolerated.
We asked Tulip Sadiq if she or anyone she knows contacted the Bangladesh authorities after the meeting. We've yet to have a response to that specific question. Tulip Sadiq is a human rights campaigning MP, but her family contacts with the brutal Awami League Bangladeshi government go far beyond simply the Prime Minister, who is her aunt.
Her mother is the sister of Sheikh Hasina, is also a powerful person within the Awami League. Her uncle, her father's brother, is the military advisor to Sheikh Hasina and has a significant role in respect of law enforcement agencies. And her brother is a propagandist for the Awami League.
In a statement issued this morning, Tulip Sadiq said,
"I have no capability nor desire to influence politics in Bangladesh."
Yet she apparently carried the following, now deleted, statement on her website when she was a Labour activist.
"I'm interested in Bangladeshi politics and managed a successful media campaign for Sheikh Hasina, recently elected Prime Minister of Bangladesh. In my spare time, I work for the Awami League as part of its UK and EU lobbying unit and election strategy team."
You described yourself as a spokesperson for the Awami regime.
This morning, Tulip Sadiq issued the following apology after refusing to answer our questions and making threatening and offensive comments.
I want to apologise unreservedly for my comments to Channel 4's producer, which were an offhand and ill-judged attempt to deal with what I felt was a hostile situation.
Today this whole issue reached Parliament, from Tulip Siddique's personal conduct to the grave situation of hundreds of people being disappeared by the Bangladeshi government, all raised during Prime Minister's questions.
Mr. Speaker, many mothers in this chamber know how hard childbirth can be, but we would never use that knowledge in a veiled threat against a journalist when being questioned in the way the Honourable Member for Hampstead and Kilburn did when questioned by a Channel 4 journalist recently. As I assume the First Secretary is not pregnant, would he please complete the work that journalist tried and ask the Honourable Member for Hampstead and Kilburn to use her influence with her aunt, who is the Prime Minister of Bangladesh, whose regime is responsible for the kidnapping of Ahmed bin Qasim, and ask for his release.
And I can assure my honourable friend that Bangladesh remains an important human rights priority area for the Foreign Office, and that we continue to raise allegations of enforced disappearances at all levels of the government of Bangladesh.
Outside Parliament, Tulip Siddique's been rightly praised for her human rights campaigning, from the British woman held in Iran, across a variety of issues from Palestine to the Rohingya. She's always claimed she can't intervene in this case because Mr Qasim isn't a constituent. He's never lived in Hampstead. After last night's report, a number of MPs contacted us from various parties to say they routinely work for non-constituents if they have special contacts, and what Ms Siddique says is nonsense.